What's an orgasmic feeling that can only be experienced once? There are some stories, books, movies, video games, where the first time you experience them, it feels like the world has fundamentally changed. But of course, it hasn't. But you still need to recover from it. And every time after that you read the book, watch the movie, play the game, it wouldn't be the same. There will be echoes of that greatness so large that it quiets your soul and you don't know what to do with your hands. Edit. I love reading what book, games, and movies have touched each of you. I love seeing how widely felt this experience is, and how diverse the stories are that sparked it. The comments alone make me so grateful to know my words resonated so strongly with all of you. So thanks for that. And thanks even more to the person who gave me gold. I hope you all have a wonderful day and find another life-changing story soon. Getting new glasses. Especially the first pair, since you probably walked around not seeing all that well for a while. You feel a bit high at first. Everything is in f-king 4K and details are super crisp and vibrant. Trees have individual leaves again. When you first hear an awesome song for the first time, and your brain is just like ooh, hold up, I like this. Double quote. I mean, that can happen again for other songs. But those first listens are always crazy. Feeling stuck on a problem and then discovering the solution in a flash of insight. You can do it repeatedly for different problems, but never twice for the same problem. The first time I ejaculated. First time I docked 2 spaceships in orbit in Kerbal Space Program was a unique euphoria. The big reveal in a book or movie, The Prestige, sticks out to me as one of the best ones. Telling someone your kinks and slowly corrupting them into liking it too. It's unreal how good it can be. That first time you take that right amount of MDMA. About 3 years ago I had a weird itchy tickly feeling on my bumhole. Ignored it for a few days until I had to investigate in the shower. As I felt around with my fingertips I could feel something poking out. Incredibly thin. I pulled at it, but my bottom seemed to inhale it back a bit. I relaxed and pulled slowly, revealing a 14 inches strand of hair from my GF. The feeling of pulling this thin strand was spectacular and I even told my GF about it. Amazed that my anus could devour a stray hair. TLDR, my bottom ate a hair. First time you have a lucid dream. It's just so intense and vivid and thrilling. Seeing your first total solar eclipse. It's an experience you can't prepare for or repeat. First kiss. Playing Pokemon Red for the first time as a 9-year-old. Edit. Whoa. I'm so glad so many other people felt the same way. Thought I was in the minority. That first time you come out, accept a major part of yourself that you denied for years. The thrill of feeling your parachute fail. And the emergency parachute fail. Knowing you should have died just then but didn't. Somehow. Walking out into an open world RPG. For those of you who played bot, it's that moment you step out of the resurrection shrine and look out into the distance. Finally writing the end under the first draft of the novel you've been trying to write for 20 plus years. Sweet. Sweet death. The first time you watch Darth Vader work his way down the scum-filled hallway at the end of Rogue One. Brought tears to my eyes. Listening to In the Air Tonight when you have no idea what's coming and someone is blasting it in their car. The first time you get high on a new drug. The first time you buy a car before buyer's remorse sets in. The first time you fall in love and, being naive, you don't know love generally goes to shitty later. The feeling of that rush of endorphins flooding your body after a super physically demanding activity, but right before your body collapses and dies of exhaustion. When you finally make your way through Sen's Fortress, defeat the Iron Golem. You take the winged demon over the wall and you see Anna Lundo for the first time. Praise the sun. Getting a computer with a graphics card. It just makes everything so crisp. You couldn't see the pixels if you tried. Sigh. To be completely honest, the very first time I shot cocaine and heroin together, my FCK, it was 10 million times better than the best orgasm I've ever had. Just absolute pure bliss. I wouldn't recommend doing that, though. It's not that my dopamine receptors are boned forever because I've felt the ultimate euphoric experience, but because every other drug, sexual experience, any kind of dopamine rush is just so pale in comparison. If you're thinking about using needles, please don't. I've been clean for nearly 6 weeks now, and every time I look at my arms I'm absolutely disgusted at myself. Be safe out there. Multiple orgasms. Done. Love being a woman. The first time I shaved my head, and then had a shower. Incredible. I may also have been on MDMA at the time. 5 stars. First time skiing, top of the mountain and you can't see the bottom. Divorcing your first wife. When your braces are finally taken off after years of orthodontic treatment and your teeth are so smooth. First time watching Dark Knight. Seeing the skyline of Novigrad for the first time in Witcher 3. As a man, using baby powder on your bad sack. What a feeling. Your first love. Obviously. Roasting a new blend of coffee beans. If you do it right, your house will have this great coffee smell with aromas of vanilla or tobacco or prunes or chocolate. But for me, at least I'll lose the smell after about 30 seconds. Number 2 is getting a root canal on a badly infected tooth. Best feeling ever. I had shingles when I was younger. It was along my spine. If anything touched the affected area, the pain was immense. But it itches. So if you draw one finger, tickling around the affected area, it can be orgasmic to the point I remember that time. With longing. 14 years later. The closest thing for me that I can remember is the first time I looked at the moon through a telescope. Never occurred to me to look up with binoculars before or anything other than just my eyes. When I saw it like it was right there, it honestly took my breath away. I was 28 or so. I heard doing crack the first couple of times gives you a literal feeling of orgasm, then you're forever trying to chase that high again. Ask David Carradine. Seeing that line pop up on the stick. I have PCOS and had always been told I would have difficulty feeling pregnant. So to fall pregnant the first month of trying, I just remember standing there in shock. And then I miscarried. And miscarried again. I'll never get that first again because, as I know from bitter experience, there's a chance that pregnancy will fail too. World of Warcraft Vanilla. I never ever in my life experienced that feeling in any game again. The exploring, quests, the graphics, everything was new. I still have heavy nostalgic feelings thinking about that game every time. I kept trying to find MMORPGs for years to get that feeling back. Also came back year after every expansion. Never got that feeling again. I am still sad about it. Those were the best gaming years in my life. Watching the first Falcon Heavy launch in person. First ever skydive. Literally the biggest rush and high of my life. Nothing will ever compare. It was amazing. Getting your first blowjob. Still feels good to the day. But the first time. Oh boy. Autoerotic asphyxiation taken to the bitter end. Having your very first masturbation session. Happens. Only. Once.